Welcome to Speak English with me.
Improve your vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation with our engaging lessons.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Speak English with me. I'm Sam.
And I'm Emma. It's great to have you with us.
Today, we're talking about something very useful, especially if you use English at work. We're talking about business trips.
Maybe you've traveled for work before, or maybe you're planning your first business trip. One day, your manager may say, "We need you to travel to another city and meet our client."
And then you think, what am I going to say in English?
Don't worry, that's what we're here for.
And if you enjoy learning practical English through natural conversations, make sure you subscribe to Speak English with me and join us for more useful English practice.
You can listen, repeat, and use the phrases from our conversations in real life.
So, Emma, have you ever been on a business trip?
Yes, I have. A business trip sounds exciting when someone first tells you about it.
But
Then you remember that it's still work.
that's true. People hear trip and imagine sightseeing and relaxing in a hotel.
But a business trip can be very busy. You may have an early flight, several meetings, and a presentation to prepare.
Sometimes you only see the airport, the hotel, and the office.
You arrive in a new city and think, "I'd love to explore this place."
Then you look at your schedule and realize you have no free time. So, what is a business trip?
It's when you travel somewhere because of your job. Maybe you need to meet a client, visit an office, attend a conference, or work with a business partner.
There are several simple ways to say you're going on one. You can say, I'm going on a business trip.
Or, "I'm traveling for work."
I'm going to Lahore for work.
These sentences are simple but very useful. You don't need complicated English.
Let's imagine I'm your colleague and I ask, what are you doing next week?
I could say, "I'm going on a business trip next week. I'm traveling to Lahore to meet a client."
That sounds clear and professional.
Then you might ask, "How long are you staying?"
I could answer, I'm staying for 3 days.
If someone asks, "Why are you going there?" you can explain the purpose. For example, "I'm going there to meet a client."
I'm going there to attend a conference.
"I'm going there to give a presentation."
These phrases help you explain your trip.
And before the trip, there's usually a lot to prepare.
Definitely. First, you need to check your travel plans.
Your flight, hotel, and meeting times.
You might say, I need to book my flight.
I need to confirm my hotel.
I need to check my schedule.
You might say, "I need to prepare my presentation."
What do you usually pack for a business trip?
My laptop, charger, some clothes, and important documents.
Anything else?
3 pairs of shoes.
3? For 3 days?
I like to be prepared.
Fair enough. A business trip shows that English can be simple and still professional.
You don't need big words. You need clear sentences.
The more you practice, the easier they become. When you talk about a business trip, start with 3 things: where you're going, why, and how long you'll be there.
For example, "I'm going to Dubai for work. I'm meeting a client, and I'll be there for 4 days."
That's a great answer. Now we have to get there first, so let's talk about the journey, the airport, and what happens when you arrive.
The journey can be a big part of the experience, especially when you have to travel several hours before you start working.
And airports can be stressful when you're watching the clock.
Yes, you arrive at the airport, check your flight information, go through security, and then look for your gate.
One thing I always check is the departure time.
Same. And I also check whether the flight is on time.
That's an important phrase. Is the flight on time?
Or you might hear, "The flight has been delayed."
Which is not the sentence you want to hear when you have a meeting the next morning.
Definitely not. Imagine you have a meeting at 9 in the morning, but your flight arrives at midnight.
You would probably go straight to the hotel and sleep.
If you can sleep. Sometimes your mind is still thinking about the meeting.
Your laptop?
Check.
Your documents?
Check.
Your phone charger?
Wait.
You forgot it?
Maybe.
That is why I always keep a charger in my work bag.
Good idea. When you travel for work, small things can become big problems if you forget them.
After you arrive, you usually need to find your way to the hotel.
And this can be interesting when you're visiting a new city for the first time.
You might take a taxi, use public transportation, or ask someone for directions.
A useful question is, how do I get to this hotel?
Or is there a taxi stand nearby?
If you're using a taxi, you can say, could you take me to this address, please?
And if you're not sure about the location, you can ask, how long will it take?
That's useful because traffic can be very different from what you expect.
Especially during rush hour.
So, once you reach the hotel, there's another important part of the trip, checking in.
You can say, hi, I have a reservation under the name Sam.
The hotel receptionist might ask for your passport or identification.
Then they may tell you your room number and explain where breakfast is.
And if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask.
For example, what time is breakfast?
Or, is Wi-Fi available in the room?
Or what time is checkout?
These are simple questions, but they can make your stay much easier.
I also think location matters a lot when you're traveling for work.
Yes, if your hotel is close to the office or meeting place, that can save you a lot of time.
You don't want to spend an hour traveling across the city before an important meeting.
Especially when you're already tired from the flight.
Have you ever arrived at a hotel and realized it was much farther from the meeting than you expected?
Yes, once. I thought the office was about 10 minutes away.
And how far was it?
Nearly 40 minutes.
That changes your morning plans.
It did. I had to leave earlier than planned.
That's another useful phrase. I had to leave earlier than planned.
And if your plans change, you can say, I had to adjust my schedule.
That sounds useful at work, too.
It is. Business trips often require you to be flexible.
And once you arrive at the hotel, you may still have work to do. You might check your emails, review your presentation, or call a colleague.
So even though you're away from your normal workplace, the work doesn't stop.
Sometimes the hotel room becomes your temporary office.
Laptop on the desk, phone beside you, and a cup of coffee nearby.
That sounds familiar.
The good thing is that after all that travel, you know you're getting closer to the main purpose of the trip.
Tomorrow morning, you wake up in a new place, get ready, and head to the office or meeting location.
And that's when the real business part of the trip begins.
And this is probably the part of a business trip that most people think about first, the meeting.
Yes, you've traveled to another city, checked into your hotel, and now you finally meet the people you came to see.
There can be a little pressure at this point.
Especially if it's your first time meeting someone.
You want to make a good impression, but you also want to sound natural.
A simple introduction can be enough. You can say, "Hi, I'm Emma. It's nice to meet you."
Or, thanks for meeting with me today.
That sounds friendly and professional.
And if you work for a company, you may want to explain your role.
You could say, "I'm a sales manager at ABC Company."
Or, I work in the marketing department.
Then the other person may introduce themselves too.
And after the introductions, you usually talk about the reason for the meeting.
This is where a few useful phrases can make a big difference.
Such as, today, I'd like to talk about our new project.
Or, we're here to discuss our plans for the next few months.
I like the phrase, I'd like to talk about, because it's simple and polite.
Yes, it helps you move into the main topic without sounding too direct.
Let's imagine we're meeting a client. I could say, we'd like to hear your thoughts about the project.
That's a good one because you're inviting the client to speak.
And when the client explains something, I might say, I understand.
Or, that makes sense.
If I want more information, I can ask, could you explain that a little more?
Very useful. You don't have to understand everything immediately.
That's an important point. Sometimes English learners are afraid to ask questions because they think it will make them look weak.
But asking a clear question can actually make you look more professional.
Right. It shows that you want to understand the situation before making a decision.
You can say, "Could you give me an example?"
Or, what do you mean by that?
And if someone speaks too quickly, you can politely say, "Could you say that again, please?"
That sentence can save you many times during a business meeting.
I agree. Another useful skill is talking about your company or your work.
For example, our company provides software for small businesses.
Or, we help companies improve their online presence.
You can also explain what your team is currently working on.
Our team is working on a new product.
We are trying to improve our service.
We're planning to launch the new version next month.
Notice that these sentences are not difficult.
That's the key. Professional English doesn't always mean difficult English.
Sometimes the clearest sentence is the best sentence.
During a meeting, you may also need to give your opinion.
You can say, I think this is a good idea.
Or, I think we should look at another option.
If you want to sound a little softer, you could say, maybe we could try another approach.
That's useful when you disagree with someone.
Because saying you're wrong probably isn't the best way to communicate with a client.
No, probably not. Even if you think they're completely wrong.
You can disagree politely. For example, I see your point, but I have a slightly different view.
That sounds much better. Another common part of a business meeting is talking about time.
Yes, people want to know when something will be finished.
You might say, we can finish this by Friday.
Or we need another week to complete it.
You can also ask, when do you need this?
And if you're not sure, say, let me check and get back to you.
That's a very useful professional phrase.
It means you don't have the answer right now, but you will find out and respond later.
Exactly. And sometimes you don't need to solve everything during one meeting. You might simply agree on the next step.
For example, I'll send you the information this afternoon.
And the client might say, great, I'll review it and let you know.
That's how a meeting becomes action. I also think business lunches are interesting.
They are. The conversation can be less formal than a meeting, but you're still talking about work.
You might talk about the project for a while, then talk about the city, food, travel, or hobbies.
It's a good chance to get to know your colleagues or clients as people.
But you still want to be careful.
Yes, you don't need to turn lunch into another presentation.
Sometimes a relaxed conversation helps build a better relationship.
And that relationship can be one of the most valuable results of a business trip.
So when you're talking about the work part of your trip, remember that you don't need complicated English.
Focus on clear introductions, simple questions, polite opinions, and clear next steps.
Those 4 things can help you handle a surprising number of business conversations.
And even when everything is going well, a business trip can still bring unexpected problems.
Which means we should talk about what happens when the plan doesn't go the way you expected. And the first thing you learn on a business trip is that plans don't always go according to plan.
That's probably the most realistic lesson of all.
You can prepare your schedule, check everything twice, and still have something unexpected happen.
The important thing is knowing how to talk about the problem without becoming too stressed.
Let's start with something simple. Imagine you arrive at the office, but the person you're meeting isn't there.
You could say, I'm here for the meeting, but I can't find Mr. Brown.
Then you might ask someone, could you help me, please?
That's a much better approach than standing there looking confused.
Although I have done that before.
Really?
Yes, I once went into the wrong building because I thought the address was correct.
How long did it take you to realize?
About 10 minutes.
Only 10?
I'm choosing to remember it that way.
Fair enough.
Another common problem is being late.
And if you know you're going to be late, it's important to tell the other person.
You can say, I'm sorry, but I'm running late.
Or, I'm stuck in traffic. I'll be there in about 15 minutes.
That gives the other person some information instead of leaving them wondering where you are.
You can also say, I apologize for the delay.
That sounds a little more formal.
Yes, and it can be useful in a professional situation.
What about when a meeting suddenly changes?
That happens quite often. Someone might cancel the meeting or move it to another time.
So you could say, the meeting has been moved to 3 o'clock.
Or, the meeting has been canceled.
And if you need to explain the change to someone else, you can say, there has been a change to our schedule.
That's a useful sentence because it doesn't sound too negative.
Sometimes the problem isn't the schedule. Sometimes it's technology.
Oh yes, the famous technical problem.
The presentation is ready, everyone is sitting down, you connect your laptop, and nothing happens.
The screen stays black.
Or your computer decides it needs an update at that exact moment. That has happened to me more than once.
In that situation, you can stay calm and say, it looks like we're having a technical problem.
Then, could we have a few minutes to fix it?
Or, I'll try another way.
That's much better than saying, my computer is broken.
Yes, even when you are thinking it very loudly.
Another challenge can be communication.
especially when people have different accents or speak very quickly.
If you don't understand someone, don't pretend you understood.
That can create a much bigger problem later.
You can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?"
Or, could you speak a little more slowly?
And if you understood most of the sentence but missed one important part, you can ask, "Did you mean?"
For example, did you mean Friday or Monday?
That's a very practical way to check information.
Sometimes you may also misunderstand an instruction.
In that case, you can confirm what you heard.
You could say, "So you'd like me to send the report by Thursday, is that right?"
That gives the other person a chance to correct you.
And it can prevent mistakes,
There are also personal problems during a business trip.
like feeling tired.
Very tired.
You may have traveled all day, slept badly, and then have an important meeting the next morning.
In that situation, you might say, "I didn't sleep very well last night."
Or simply, "I'm feeling a little tired today."
You don't have to give a long explanation.
Right, keep it simple.
And sometimes the best solution is to take a short break, drink some water, and continue.
Another thing that can happen is losing something important.
Like your wallet,
Hopefully not.
your phone,
Even worse.
your presentation notes.
That would be a serious problem.
If you lose something, you can ask for help. "I think I left my bag in the meeting room."
Or, "Has anyone seen my documents?"
Again, simple English is enough.
What matters is explaining the situation clearly and asking for the help you need.
And that's really the main skill when something goes wrong on a business trip.
Don't panic. Explain what happened, say what you need, and focus on the solution.
You can say, "There's a problem with our schedule. Can we find another time?"
Or, "The presentation isn't working. Give me a moment and I'll try another option."
These sentences show something important. Professional English isn't about sounding perfect.
It's about staying clear and polite when things become difficult.
And sometimes, after a difficult morning, you reach the end of the day and realize that everything turned out fine.
That's when you can finally look back at the trip and ask yourself, was it worth it?
And that's the question we're going to explore next. So, after all the meetings, travel, and unexpected problems, you finally get home.
And someone at work asks the most natural question, "So, how was your business trip?"
That's a great question, because now you need to put the whole experience into a few sentences.
You can start with a general answer. For example, "It was busy, but it went well."
Or, "It was a really useful trip. I met some important clients and learned a lot.
If the trip was successful, you can say, "We had some good meetings."
We made good progress on the project."
Or, "I think the trip was very productive."
Productive is a useful word here. It means you achieved something useful during your time.
You can also talk about the best part of the trip.
You might say, "The best part was meeting the client in person."
Or, "The best part was getting to know the team."
And if something was difficult, you can mention that too.
The schedule was quite busy, but we managed to finish everything.
That's a good way to talk about a difficult experience without making the whole trip sound negative.
You can also talk about what you learned.
I learned a lot about our clients.
I learned how important face-to-face meetings can be.
Or, I learned that I need to prepare more carefully next time.
That last sentence is very useful because business trips can teach you things you don't learn in the office.
Definitely. And if someone asks, "Would you go again?" you can say, "Yes, I'd be happy to."
Or, "Yes, but next time I'd plan my schedule better."
Now, let's do a quick word tour with some useful words from today. First, client. A client is a person or company that buys a service from your company.
Schedule means the plan of what you need to do and when you need to do it.
Meeting is when people come together to discuss something.
Productive describes time when you achieve useful results.
Delay means something happens later than planned.
And adjust means to change something slightly because the situation has changed.
Great. Now let's put everything together.
Imagine I'm your colleague. I say, "Welcome back. How was your business trip?"
I'd say, "It was busy but very productive. I traveled there to meet an important client and discuss our new project. We had a good meeting and we agreed on the next steps. I also had a few problems with my schedule, but everything worked out in the end."
That's a strong answer.
And it doesn't use difficult English.
Exactly. That's the main lesson from today. You don't need complicated words to talk professionally.
You need clear sentences, useful expressions, and confidence.
So now it's your turn. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your business trip?"
Tell them where you went, why you went, what happened, and how the trip ended.
And if you've never been on a business trip, no problem. Create an imaginary one and practice.
Thanks for spending this time with us.
We hope this conversation helps you feel more confident when you talk about work and travel in English.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you next time.